Are you tired of going to bed every night and waking up every morning alone? Are you tired of spending time with somebody that you know is not going to be around for the long term? Are you tired of being single? What I want you to know is that it's okay to be single. It's okay to have a season of being single. My name is Sherre Webb of Sherre Webb Life Coaching, and I'm going to tell you why it's okay to be single. It's okay to have a season of being single. Also, I'm going to explain what you should be doing during that time, during that season of being single. And then last but not least, how long this season could possibly last, okay? So, let's get right into it. If you are tired of being single, what I want you to know is that it's okay. The reason it's okay to be single is because when you're single, you have a type of freedom that you will never experience if you are in a relationship. It gives you time to heal from past relationships, from childhood trauma. If you spend that time of being single working on yourself, then you'll be ready for Mr. or Mrs. Right. So being single gives you a lot of freedom. It gives you time to heal. It gives you time to do what you want to do. Figure out what you want to do. It gives you time to pamper yourself. Being single allows you it allots you the time to really reflect on, what has not worked in the past for you and why. It gives you time to really reflect on if you could possibly be bringing childhood trauma or trauma and pain and hurt from a past relationship and pulling that along into your future relationships. Being single gives you time to understand that until you forgive yourself and forgive those from the past who have hurt you, there's no way to move forward in a healthy relationship. So being single gives you time to really look back over your past relationships and figure out why they didn't work. It gives you time to look in the mirror and say, what didn't I do? Or what should I have done? Or, what did I tolerate? What part in my past relationships or relationship not working out, what part did I play in it? What about me needs to heal? What about me do I need to discover? And it gives you time to just really get to know yourself. And I'm telling you right now, once you start loving yourself, you will not get tired of your own company. You just won't. Here's what you should be doing during this time of being single. That love that you're seeking to find with someone else because you're tired of being alone, give yourself that love. Learn that same type of love where you want somebody telling you that you're beautiful every day, or you want somebody to affirm you, or you want that man or that woman to pour into you. If you feel yourself needing or wanting those things, give those things to yourself first. Spend this time of being single pouring into yourself. Take yourself out to eat. Take yourself to the movies. Spend time pampering yourself. Spend time just chilling with you. I'm telling you, when you spend time alone and you enjoy being single, you find out you're a pretty cool person. You find out how loving you really are. You will find out how much love you actually have to give. And you'll also find out in what areas in your life, in your heart, in your mind, in your thought process that you need to improve or heal from. You'll find all of these things out single. You could be in a relationship, and because you're so focused on that person that you're with, you won't even understand why certain things they do, say, or don't say, or things you think they should be doing, why those things will trigger you. If you're triggered by something that somebody that you're with says or does, or what you think they should be doing, then you really need to take a moment And you need some time to figure out what your triggers are and why, and heal from those things instead of taking them into a relationship and expecting, your partner, your other half to, heal you or figure it out or pour into you or fill up that void. Only you can take that time out and spend that time with you and God, and allow God to heal your heart, to heal, ways of thinking, patterns of thinking and behaviors and that type of thing that are not conducive to having a healthy relationship. How long? Here's the thing, because, I know it's a lot of people out there, men and women, that are like, I am tired of being single. I have been single for a long time. Let me tell y'all something. I was single. I used to be married, right? Well, before I got married, this was back in the early 2000s and late 90s. I was single. I was single and I was by myself. I had been in a previous relationship. But prior to me meeting my ex-husband, I was single. And I was okay with being single because I enjoy my time. I'm an introvert too, so I'm cool with being by myself. But I went through a marriage that did not work. We ended up getting divorced after 8.5 years. And after we divorced, I was single. Now, I did try to date, but when you don't take the time out to figure out who you are, what part you played in the demise of a relationship, then you unknowingly, subconsciously enter into a dating situation or, another relationship with someone, not understanding that now you're carrying baggage into that, that next relationship. So instead of me getting just all the way fully involved with someone, I was single for a long time. And in that time, when I wasn't like all caught up into somebody else, and this lasted for years, by the way, y'all. I just started being in a real relationship in 2021, the end of 2021. But before that, I was single since my divorce. And that's 10, 11 years. And I know that sounds like a long time, but listen to what I'm saying. In that time period, I spent so much time with myself, and I was so focused on raising my kids, and I absolutely wouldn't compromise on, just bringing somebody around my kids. That was a no. I was not willing to do that. But I wasn't willing to compromise my standards for anyone, because I knew, even though I knew I was, messed up in some areas, I knew that I needed to heal in some areas. And a lot of times, y'all be knowing that you're angry about something, but instead of sitting with that pain and healing from it and understanding what that pain is and why it even exists and why it's still there, you move on to the next person. But me, for example, I'm using myself as an example. I was willing to sit with the pain. And I'm not going to say it was easy. It was not easy. I had a period of time where I was drinking every weekend just to deal with the pain of not being able to be in a healthy relationship. And not only that, but not understanding what exactly was wrong with me. Like, I couldn't figure out for a long time why I was so hurt and where that hurt stemmed from, where that pain stemmed from. And I'm going to tell y'all something. A lot of our pain and trauma stems from childhood. It stems from childhood. You have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive those who hurt you from your childhood, those who hurt you as a young adult in a relationship, those that hurt you or deceived you. You have to forgive those people. Really forgive them so that you can move on, so that you can heal. Forgiving is not about them. It's about giving yourself permission to free yourself from the confines of the power that that person or those people from the past have held over you all your life, or up into this point in your life, right? So, or a period of time in your life, if you've allowed someone to hold that power over you because you're holding on to pain and bitterness and anger, you have to forgive. So, that's what you should be doing during that time. Now, how long this season of being single will last is totally up to you. It depends on you. It depends on how tired you are of your own stuff. I got to a point when I was single where I was like, I am sick of my own stuff. I am really tired of feeling like this. And I'm going to figure out, what is it? Why? Why am I so angry? I went through, the reason I talk about dating and relationships is I went through the whole, oh, I'm a cater to a man, and not understanding that the reason I was catering so much, and there's nothing wrong with catering to a man, your man, in a healthy way. But when you are catering to a man that doesn't pour back into you, and you're catering into him as a means to get validation and seeking approval and validation that you are worthy of love, that's toxic. That's toxicity. And it's a lack of self-love and a lack of self-esteem that you're displaying. But, I went through that season, and not only that, I went through, feeling unlovable. I went through feeling angry at a man for mistreating me, but not understanding that really I allowed it. I said it in my last video that a lot of times we want to blame the other person for what we allowed. Not understanding that when you love yourself, you won't allow someone to mistreat you. You will require them to give you the same level of love that you give yourself, period. There will be no exceptions to that rule. They must love you as much as you love yourself. So this period of time of being single depends on you. It depends on your willingness. How willing are you to look in the mirror and look at yourself and say, where do I need to heal? What do I need to do? Where does my pain stem from? Is it from childhood? Is it from a past relationship that you never got over? Truly never really got over because you never healed. You never forgiven that person. And then you never forgave yourself. And then also, y'all, this is real talk right here. This is real talk. This stuff is true. When you are involved with someone and you have with that person, there is a soul tie that is formed. And so what you have to also do during this time, is really look at if you formed soul ties with previous partners, and if those soul ties are still holding on to your soul. If your soul is still tied to this other person's soul. And if so, listen here, you must break those soul ties. That comes through prayer. That comes through working on yourself. That comes through by way of forgiving yourself, forgiving that other person, and setting yourself free. You have to break old soul ties that are holding you back or holding you hostage and keeping you from being able to attract the real love that you are really desiring. But let me tell y'all something. It is possible. All of it's possible. I went through all of that. And what I'm seeing in the Black community is that we are like battling each other. Men and women are like butting heads and going at each other and tearing each other down. And y'all, I want us to build healthy relationships so that we can build together, so that we can create generational wealth. I want for the women, for my queens, listen to me, ladies. I really need for y'all to forgive the men in your life from the past if you have daddy issues, mommy issues, whatever, forgive them. Do whatever it takes. If it means having a conversation with those people or writing a letter if you can't have the conversation, if they're no longer here or whatever, but find what works for you and forgive whomever from your past has hurt you so that you can stop being bitter and angry, especially if you have issues with daddy issues or something like that, or you're still angry about a previous relationship, a man that hurt you, whatever. I want you to find it in your heart to really forgive them and understand that those people that hurt you in the past, they had their own stuff that they were dealing with, and it's not to excuse anything, because I always say your feelings are valid. My feelings are valid. When I was hurting, ain't no way somebody gonna tell me my feelings weren't valid, because they were. So I want you to know that your feelings are valid, but that doesn't mean that they should still be controlling you. It means that if that feeling is not a good, healthy feeling, and you're feeling pain, anger, and bitterness, that it means that you need to take some time out to heal. Forgive those from the past. Understand that those people that hurt you were also hurting about something. Compassion. We have to start having compassion for one another. And for the men, I need for y'all to understand that, women, black women, I'm speaking for the black women because I'm only a black woman. But black women, we want love. We do. I know it's a lot of us out here that are so hard. And that's another thing I want ladies to stop doing, is stop being so hard. But the only reason you're hard is that's a defense mechanism. You are protecting your heart, and I get it. And that's what I want the men to understand, is that, us ladies, women out here are just, they're hard and, being so tough because that is a defense mechanism. By design, we are actually loving. We're nurturers. We have a heart that wants to give love. We have a heart that wants to receive love. But because we've been so hurt, that's what is the product of that. That's what you're seeing, is the outward display of pain, right? It's because women have been so hurt and feel like they've been deceived, and they gave their heart to someone who didn't deserve it. And that's why it's important to be okay with being single and use that time as a time to heal, so that then we can attract that one perfect person for us, that one true love, and this goes for men and women, not just women. This is not just a ladies' conversation. This is for men and women. If we want to bring our families back together and start building again, we have to forgive. We have to forgive, and we have to forgive ourselves, and we have to work on our internal issues and work on our minds and work to become the best you that you can be. Okay, so again, it's okay to be single. I was single for a long time, and I'm so glad. I can honestly say I am so glad that I was, because I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be who I'm with in a relationship. I wouldn't be there if I wouldn't have had that time of being single. And I know that my season of being single was a long time. That doesn't mean that's going to be the same case for you. If you're willing to do the work, you don't know what can happen. You don't know what God or who God has in store for you. You just have to work on yourself. Be okay with this season of being single and prepare. Get yourself prepared for Mr. or Mrs. Right. Oh, and also, you know what I would like to know? I would like to know if y'all could leave a comment below. If you could comment below and let me know if you are someone who is single right now, What do you think is keeping you from really healing from your past, or are you okay with being single? I would like to know, what are you doing if you're currently working on yourself in your season of being single? What are some things that you are doing to help yourself, to help you heal, to help you become ready for that person to come into your life? You know, for me, I started businesses. I started working out. I started working on my mind. That's what I started doing. I started working on my mind a lot and really paying attention to how I would feel about certain things. You know, things that people would say if I felt a certain way. I just started working on every aspect of myself. So, you know, if you have something that you can share that may help somebody else, please leave it in the comments below. All right. Y'all have a blessed day.